What's up everybody, it's Robin Gaming here. So the PlayStation 4 update 4.5 is coming out very soon. This is pretty much an in-between kind of update because the big ones always release at the end of the year, as we all know. But people are able to test this out in beta at the moment, select users, and yesterday on the PlayStation blog they detailed all the features that it's going to contain. And it actually looks like a really good update, I gotta say. There's one particular feature that was, users found out about later. They didn't even detail that on the PlayStation blog, which literally made the PS4 Pro so much more enticing for people to get all of a sudden that it's crazy they didn't even really talk about it, but I will for sure in this video. Anyway, let's quickly go over the 6 features that they did, I guess, point out in the blog post. So I'll start off with number 1, and that's external HDD support. It reads, it's easy to upgrade the HDD that came with your PS4, but if you're still looking for more storage space on the console, we've got you covered. With this update, you have the option to store content to an external HDD. Just plug in a USB 3 HDD in your PS4, and voila, you now have more space on the console. This is compatible with HDDs up to 8 terabytes in size. You can download and install applications directly to your extra storage, and the saved contents are easily manageable through the settings menu. Also, all the applications saved in the external HDD will appear on the content launcher of the home screen, so it's easy to keep track of what apps you launched recently. I think this is really good news because the 500 gigabytes, that's like officially on the PS4. Normally, it's, or at least with the launch models, I think right now they have models that they sell with 1 or maybe even 2 gigabytes, or sorry, terabytes, 1 I think. But 500 gigabytes isn't quite cutting it, it just feels like with games nowadays being up to 50, 60 gigabytes sometimes, like Battlefield and Uncharted, it's just, you can barely put 8 or 9 games on it and your hard drive is pretty much full already. That sucks. Also the fact that physical games are fully installed on the hard drive, you just need a little more than that. You need that 1 or 2 terabyte. That's why I myself upgraded to a 2 terabyte one myself, internal already. So this is not really anything for me anymore. If I had not upgraded yet, and I do have an external hard drive myself, yeah, I would have instantly hooked that up, because this is a pretty big thing, and it's a nice way for, to give people more options pretty much to expand their storage. So I'm very happy that we are now officially getting external HDD support. Number 2 is custom wallpapers. It reads, this update adds the ability to set your favorite in-game screenshot as the background image for PS4's home screen. Drop shadows on text, and the option to dim the function area will help keep the system icons and text on the home screen clearly visible, even if the background image you selected is super bright. You can also edit screenshots using photo mode and Share Factory to make your one and only custom wallpaper. Once again, yeah, really good new feature that they added. I won't be using it myself because I think, usually I like the more dynamic menus a little more because, yeah, there's actually stuff happening on the screen. At the same time, I understand that if you have a certain favorite game that you would like to have a background as on your PS4, but there is no theme of it available, then this is definitely a great way to kind of like, yeah, put your own in-game screenshot as a background for the PS4. It's just for the people that like, customizing their system, that like customizing their own experience, and in that way, definitely a nice little thing that they added. And then we have the quick menu refresh. It says, as you may know, in the last system update, we overhauled the PS4 quick menu feature, the menu that appears after a long press of the PlayStation button on the DualShock 4. This update brings additional improvements to make it even more accessible. Now, the quick menu will cover even less of your gameplay screen, and you'll be able to access handy party features via online friends, like creating new parties, inviting friends, and joining parties without transitioning to the separate party app. The goal is to keep you in the game and not stuck in menus. Yeah, nice, the quick menu, of course, they added that recently. I think that was with update 4.0. It's just a cool way to, like they say, you still get to see what's going on in the game itself without having to go to the menu pretty much, and being completely out of the game already to start a new party, to invite some friends, stuff like that. So the fact that they're adding more to the quick menu and that they're kind of refining it to be even easier to set up parties and stuff like that. It's nice to see. I'm glad they're doing this, and I'm sure many people are going to benefit from it for sure. And then finally we have like 3 more quick points that they talked about, which I'm not going to go too much into detail about. Don't care too much for them. They have a simplified notification list coming, which means that the notifications, which right now were like divided in tabs for downloads and uploads and stuff like that, it's now more simplified into one big list. Boost. You can now post on PlayStation Network activity feeds. I don't quite know what that means myself. I read it, but it was kind of forgettable, and I was like, yeah, cool, I guess that they're adding it, but that's pretty much it. And you can now watch 3D Blu-rays on the PlayStation VR, which for the people that do own PlayStation VR and that do like watching movies like that, well, there you go, you can now watch them in 3D on it. Personally, I would still, just for the sake of image quality, prefer to watch movies on the big screen of the TV, because the resolution and stuff like that is definitely going to be much more clear. However, this is all that they talked about on the PlayStation blog, right? The 6 features I just talked about. It seems, now that people have been able to test it out in beta mode already, that Sony has added this massive new feature to the PS4, specifically for the PS4 Pro, which they call Boost Mode. It's already being labeled right now as Beast Mode by many people out there, because what it literally does is, for the games that do not have a PS4 Pro patch yet, that have not specifically been like fine-tuned for the PS4 Pro, it now actually enhances them. You know, back in the days, what would suck about a game that was not optimized for the PS4 Pro, it would suck that it would still run the exact same way that it did on the original PS4. Take a game like Bloodborne. I think that's a great example, which was supposed to be running at like 30 frames a second, right? But it was very jittery sometimes. You know, 30 frames already wasn't really quite what people would want from a game like that because of the response time and stuff, and that's really something that for a heavy action game like that, that's all about precision, yeah, it would have just been awesome to see that game in a high frame rate, like 60. But the fact that it was 30 and then at the same time also sometimes had these frame drops, it was just kind of sad to see because the game itself was so amazing already. And now what this PS4 Pro Boost Mode actually does is, if you turn it on and you start playing a game like Bloodborne, you will stop experiencing those frame drops. It actually uses the additional power of the PS4 Pro in both its CPU and GPU to improve the frame rates. And what that means is that people right now have reported that yes, a game like Bloodborne is pretty much running smooth at the same 30 frames per second, you know, frame rate for sure still, but without any frame drops, without any, you know, disturbances. Even games like Assassin's Creed Unity, which, well, we all know the story there, you know, when that came out, it was freaking insane. But now it's running smooth at 30 frames per second, and that's awesome to see. Games that are targeting 60 frames per second locked, which experienced, you know, frame drops, also are able to now run more smoothly on the PS4 Pro at those frame rates. And there's even some games with unlocked frame rates that can go, you know, anywhere they want. They just use the hardware the best way they can. It has been reported that a game like Rainbow Six Siege right now is literally running at like 110 frames per second on the PS4 Pro. It's awesome to hear that. It makes the PS4 Pro so much more enticing all of a sudden for people to, you know, to get it. I can't wait. You know, even a game like Uncharted 4 running at 30 frames per second, it sometimes did have those frame drops, and it's just nice that now as a PS4 Pro owner, yeah, you're going to be able to experience it in a much smoother way, albeit still 30 frames per second, and it's not like a major all of a sudden, you know, a game-changing thing where it actually like doubles the frame rate. Let's be honest, the PS4 Pro is just not powerful enough for that. Mainly what they can improve, because of the improved GPU, they can mainly improve the resolutions, but not the frame rates as much. That's really sad to see, in my personal opinion, because yeah, I think, you know, frame rate over resolution anytime, but it's nice to see that you will not experience those, you know, those small disturbances that you would now still experience. Even having bought a PS4 Pro, playing original PS4 games that have not been patched. So I'd say it's a pretty big deal. Let me know if you own a PS4 Pro and if you think, you know, you're really happy about this feature. And then with that being said, yeah, that was pretty much the video going over all the features for update 4.5. Like I said, it's coming out very soon. People are beta testing it already, so expect it to launch on the PS4 in like a month or something like that, I would say. And then for now, yeah, let me know what you thought about this in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit the quick little icon next to my name, or next to the subscribe button actually, that will give you notifications as soon as I upload. Make sure to do that. I'll show you a quick image here, you know, where exactly you can find that, because yeah, you will hear when I upload pretty much, because I'm now going to, like I said in my video from yesterday, I will try to start uploading much more frequently, if possible, every single day. So that's going to be really exciting. Thanks for thanks for checking the video out. Let me know your thoughts, and then for now, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.